Rajendra hoilo tahoite Tara kinkara jaya Dharmaname parichaya Parampara janobalo mate Jaya Dharma Dasi Kyati Shri Purushottama Jati Rajendre Brahmanya Tirtha Suri Vyasati Tatara Dasa Lakshmi Pati Vyasa Dasa Tawite Madhavendra Puri Madhavendra Puri Varshishya Varshishya Swara Nityananda Shri Advaita Vibhu Ishvara Puri Kedanya Kori Lena Shri Chaitanya Jagat Guru Gaura Mahaprabhu Mahaprabhu Shri Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahe Anya Rupanuga Jane Rajivana Vishwambara Priyankara Sri Swarupa Damodara Shri Goswami Rupa Sanatana Rupa Priya Mahajana Jiva Raghunathanam Tara Priya Kavi Krishna Dasa Esha Dasa Priya Vara Narottama Seva Para Jara Para Vishwanatha Asha Vishwanatha Bhakta Sata Baladeva Jagannatha Tara Priya Shri Bhakti Vinoda Mahabhagavata Vara Shri Gaura Kishora Vara Hai Bhajanete Jaramora Shabana Vivada Sada Sevya Seva Para Tara Doite Dasanama Prabhupada Antaranga Shri Swarupa Rupanuga Shri Keshava Bhakti Pragana Gauriya Vedanta Veda Maya Vada Tamo Anta Gauravani Prachara Chadama Pracharilo Gauravani Bhakti Vedanta Swami Parailo Prabhupada Kama Kesha Priyama Jana Vamena Narayana Gauravani Tadil Pranadana Hey Sabha Hari Jana Gaurangira Nija Jana Tadida Uchiste Morakama Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Parampara Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Parampara Guru Parampara Vrindavana Basi Jato Vaishnavera Gana Partame Vandana Kori Sabara Charana Nilachala Basi Jato Mahaprabhu Bhakta Bhumite Podiya Bando Basi Jato Mahaprabhu Bhakta Sabara Charana Bando Hoyanuragta Mahaprabhu Bhakta Jato Gaura Deshe Stiti Sabara Charana Bando Koriya Pranati যে দেশে বাইসে গৌরাঙ্গের গানাম দ্বাবাউ করি বন্দ সবার চরণ হয় চেনা হইবে না প্রভু যত দাস সবার চরণ বন্ধ তান্তে করি গাশা ব্রহ্মাণ্ড তরিতে শক্তি দরে জানে জানে এ বেদ পুরাণে গুণ গায় যে বসুনে মহাপ্রভুর গান সব পতিত পবন তাই লোবে মুই পাপি লইন শরণ বন্দনা করিতে মুই কত শক্তি দৌরি তামো বুড়ি দোষে মুই দম্ভ মাত্র করি তথাপি মুখের ভাগ্য মনের উল্লাস দোষ স্বামী মোহ দামে কর নিজ দাস সর্ব পঞ্চ সিদ্ধি হয় यम बंध चूते जगते दुर्लभ হয় প্রেম ধন লুতে মনের বসন পুনরচিরতে হয় দেবকী আনন্দ দাস লোবে কয় জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় भज श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु जीवे दया कोरी स्वप्रसाद श्रियादाम सायावतारी अत्यंत दुर्लभ प्रेम करिबारे दाना शिकाय शरणागति भक्तेर प्राण धन्यात्मा निवेदनम् गोपचिद्विवरानम् अवश्य राखिबे कृष्ण विश्वास पालना भक्ति अनुकूल मात्र कार्य स्वीकार भक्ति प्रतिकूल भाव भजनांगीकार शरंग शरणागति হইবে যারা তারা পতন শুনে শ্রীনন্দ কুমারা রূপ সনাতন পদে তন্তে চীন কোরি ভক্তি বিনোদ পদে দুপাদরি কদিয়া কদিয়া বলে আমি তো আদাম শিকায়ে শরণাগতি কর হে উত্তম জয় স্বপশর জয় গৌরারি स्वपशर जय गौरारी जय स्वपशर जय Prabhu Rupa Sanatan, Prabhu Rupa Sanatan, Rupa Sanatan, Prabhu Rupa Sanatan, Prabhu Rupa Sanatan. Anyone want to sing for Nitai? Yeah. Parama Karuna.
Do you know the page? Okay, page, I think, 80, 84. Paramaka Karuna Pahudu Vijana Nitai Gaura Chandra. Can you turn the camera? No, to me. Saba Avatara Sarashiromani Kevala Ananda Kevala Ananda Kanda Bajo Bajo Bai Chaitanya Nitai Sudreda Vishvasakori Vishaya Chandiya Serasimajya Muke Bolo Hari Hari Deko Ore Bai Tribhuvane Nai Emona Doyana Data Pashupaki Jore Pashana Vidare Shune Jara Guna Gata Samsare Majya Rahili Poriya Sepade Nahila Asha Apana Karama Bunjaya Shamana Kahoe Lochana Dasa Parama Karuna Pahudu Vijana Nitai Gaura Chandra Saba Avatara Sarashiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda Kevala Ananda Kanda Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur Oh, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. The two brothers, Lords Nitai and Gaurachandra, are supremely merciful. They're the essence and the crown jewels of all avatars, and they are the source of absolute bliss. Oh, brother, worship Chaitanya Nitai with unwavering faith, renouncing material enjoyment and drowning yourself in that rust of worshiping them. Let your lips chant Hari, Hari. Just see, dear brother, in all the three worlds, no one bestows mercy like they do. Animals and birds shed tears and stones melt upon hearing the narrations of their glories. Lochan Das says, since you remain submerged in material enjoyment, the aspiration to take shelter of their lotus feet has not arisen. Thus you suffer the consequences of your own misdeeds as meted out by Lord Yama.
Page 210. Tumi Saveshwareshwara Brajendra Kumara Tomara Ichaya Vishve Sirjana Samhara Tumi Saveshwareshwara Brajendra Kumara Tomara Ichaya Vishve Jana Samhara Atumi Saveshwareshwara Brajendra Kumara Tomara Ichaya Vishve Srijana Samhara Tumi Sarveshwareshwara Rajendra Kumara Tomara Ichaya Vishve Srijana Samhara Tava Ichamato Brahma Karena Srijanam Tava Ichamato Karena Srijanam Tava Ichamato Vishnu Karena Palanam Tava Ichamato Vishnu Karena Palana Tava Ichemate Shiva Karena Sanghara Tava Ichemate Shiva Tava Ichamate Maya Sijikaragara Tava Ichamate Maya Sijikaragara Tumi Sarveshwareshwara Brajendra Kumara Tomara Ichaya Vishve Sujana Samhara Tumi Sarveshwareshwara Brajendra Kumara Jaya Vishwa Tava Ichamate Jiver Janama Marana Tava Ichamate Jive Janama Marana Samredini Patruka Sukha Samgatana Samredini Patruka Sukha Samgatana Amichamaya Bada Jiva Asha Pashe Pire Tava icha bina kichu korite na pare Tava icha bina kichu Atumi Sarveshwareshwara Bhajendra Kumara Tomara Ichaya Vishwe Sujana Samhara Tumi Sarveshwareshwara Brajendra Kumara Tumi to rakshakara palankaya mara Tumi to rakshakara palankaya mara Tomara charana bina asha nahi ara Tomara charana bina asha nahi ara Nija bala chesta Varashachariya Nij bala chesta prati Varashachariya Tomare ichae achi nibara koriya Tomara ichae achi nibara koriya Bhakti vinodati dinaya kinchana Kati vinodati dinaya kinchana Tomara ichai tara jivana marana Tomara ichai tara Tomara ichai tara jivana marana Tomara ichai tara Tumi Sarveshwareshwara Brajendra Kumara Tomara ichaya Vishwe Sujana Samara Tumi Sarveshwareshwara Brajendra Kumara Tomara ichaye Vishwe Sujana Samara Jaya Brajendra Kumar, Jaya Brajendra Kumar, Brajendra Kumar, Jaya Brajendra Kumar, Jaya Brajendra Kumar. Prabhu he, 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 Prabhu he. Bhakti vinodati dinaya kinchana. Bhakti Vinodati Dinaya Kinchana. Dinaya Kinchana. It's I. Dina Kinchana. Bhakti Vinodati Dinaya Kinchana. Dinaya Kinchana. Dinaya Kinchana. Yeah. Bengali. Yeah. Dinaya Kinchana.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Oh Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Oh Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol, Haribol. Nitai Gaura Premanande.
Actually, our prayer here is saying if we just worship Sri Radha and no, the first prayer, Kripayati Adi Radha. Never mind. What page is it?
99.
No, we didn't sing any Radha Bhajan. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that even if we just sing a Radha Bhajan, everything is included. Does that make sense?
Also, another way to look at it is that when we're singing to Krishna, we can know that he doesn't have any power without Radha. So let's just quickly review that in 1 second and think that Radha was the cause of Krishna being able to do that, Maya being able to do that, Shiva being able to do that, just because it's late.
When we sing Hare Krishna, Radha and Krishna are together. So Janila. Jayanilo Premadhana Karuna Pracho Heno Prabhu Kota Gela Achayataku Kahamora Swarup Rupa Kahasanatana Kahada Saragunata Patita Pavan Kahamora Bhata Juga Kakaviraja Ekakale kota gela koranata raja Pashane kotibo mata hanale poshibo Goranga gunera nidhi kota kele babo Se saba sangira sange je koi loblasa. Sayang tangga na paya kande narotamadas. Sesanggan Jayanilo Premadhana Karuna Pracho Heno Prabhu Kota Gela Chayataku Oh he Vaishnav Thakur, oh he Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, oh he Vaishnav Thakur. Anitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Tai Gaura Hari Bol.
Agyanam timirandasya Gyananjana salakaya Chaksurunmilitam yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Bhagavaktaya Namo Namah Yang Pravajantam Manupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahaka Taruva Juhava Putriti Tanmaya Taruvo Benedus Tang Sarvabhu Yam Muni Manatosmi Bhaktya Vinay Aparada Lakshay Chaptasya Kamadi Kripamayitam Sharanam Prapadyam Prende Namaste Charanaravindam Tavaivasmi Najivami Tambina Yeti Vigyaya Radhe Tam Nayamam Charanantike Kripayati Yadi Radha Padita Shishabadha Kemapadavashishtam Pushti Maryade Yorme Yadi Vadati Chakinchit Smera Soditasir Twijavaramane Panktya Mukti Shoktya Tadakim Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekhar Murali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kripanite Swapriya Charanakin Kari Kuru Prananatha Vrishabhanu Nandini Shrimakabja rasalola satapada Radhika paratale kritastitam Tam bhajami rasikendra shekha Sambhadaya dashane trinam bibo Tibalaba janma janmane madesware priya. If Sri Radha is merciful to me, then unlimited obstacles to my devotion will be removed. There will be nothing superior for me to attain, because I will have received the excellence offered by the paths of both Bhairi and Rag. And if she speaks something while smiling gently, thereby revealing the brilliance of the rows of her beautiful pearl-like teeth, what significance will the oyster of liberation have? O Shamasundar, O you whose head is adorned with peacock feathers, whose face is graced with a laughing smile, whose murli flute enchants the mind, and who are most expert in relishing ras with Srimati Radhika. O ocean of mercy, please make me a kinkari maidservant at the feet of your beloved. First I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astor to the Sat Shishiman, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astor to the Sat Shishiman, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. To our grandfather Guru Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta, Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, to all of his divine associates and to all the assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus who are my Shiksha Gurus, Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Madhav Maharaj, Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Ban Maharaj, and Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. So here we are. Where are we? We're in India. And we are sitting at the feet of Sri Srimad Bhakti Ballabh Tirtha Goswami Maharaj, who is sharing with us the glories of Srila Raghunandan Thakur, a very intimate associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is also compared, his body is compared with non-different from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's how it is with a lot of associates. So we learn from Srila Bharati Maharaj that if we worship these personalities on their appearance and disappearance days, they will personally take away all obstacles and give us all auspiciousness in our path and solve our problems. And if we don't, then we get more problems and we lose our auspiciousness. So we want to make sure to avail ourselves. So in his book, Sri Chaitanya, his life and precepts, Srila Bhakti Ballabh Tirtha Goswami Maharaj is writing. I just want to mention something about him, that on his disappearance day, a few years ago, we were watching a video of him, and he was saying that we have many, many past births, and we've committed sinful activities, knowingly or unknowingly, in those lives. And so now we're suffering various miseries. And all the miseries are Krishna's grace to detach us from the material world which we love so much. So if we blame anyone or any situation for our miseries, then he said we miss out on Krishna's grace. So let's continue. So who is Raghunandan Thakur? He's the third member of the Chatur Vyuha. That is, in Mathura, Krishna has expanded into 4 manifestations. Sankarshan, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. And they also become the controller of the mind and the intelligence and the Guru Tattva and all that. And then in Vaikuntha they expand further. So that's what happens. And so that same personality, Pradyumna, who's the third of the members of the Chaturvyuha expansions, became one of Krishna's Priyanarm Sakas. And now in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's appeared as Raghunandan Thakur. His father is Mukunda Das, who is a physician and also a very intimate associate of Mahaprabhu. And Mukunda Das is the elder brother of Narahari Sakara, who's also Mahaprabhu's intimate associate and the author of many poetries and prayers and books. Mukunda wasn't an ordinary physician. He was a physician of the king. He was the royal physician. So superficially he appears, because he has to work, because he has a family, Raghunandan's his son. So superficially he was engaged in the government as the physician, but in his inner life he was filled with divine love. Who can know the extent of his love? Once he was treating the king and somebody was offering a peacock fan. I'll just read it. Once when Mukunda was engaged in treating the king, he saw a peacock feather, like fanning the king, and he fainted. He was on a high ledge and he fainted right off onto the floor. This is described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And when he was asked what happened, he said, it's just some kind of epilepsy that I have. But it was actually the stimulus of the peacock feather reminding him of Krishna's pastimes. So there was lots of physicians, Ayurvedic doctors, living in Sri Khanda, all very expert. There were many groups who came to Mahaprabhu's to become Mahaprabhu's kirtan groups at Ratha Yatra, and one of them was the devotees. One of the groups consisted of the members from Sri Khanda. So Raghunandana took birth on Sri Vasant Panchami, very important day. And his uncle, Narahari Sakara, whose disciple is Lochandas Thakur, all these powerful devotees were all related in various ways. So he was the main person who raised Raghunandan. He took a great interest in that. So Mahaprabhu indicated that one's importance increases with the depth of devotion by telling Mukunda Das that his son, one's importance increases with the depth of devotion How? In other words, he asked Mukunda, so you're Raghunandan's father and he's your son. But who's the father and who's the son? Just a grammatical confusion here. So by asking this question, he's showing that it doesn't matter who's older, who's younger, but whoever has the most devotion, he is the father and the spiritual master. And so, what was the answer? Mukunda Das answered that Raghunandan is my father, and I am his son, rest assured. Whatever devotion we have comes from him. Therefore, I see him as my father. And we'll hear about an incident that took place, or a few incidences. When Mahaprabhu heard this answer, he was thrilled. Sorry. And he said, from whom we imbibe devotion, that person is considered senior. So from his early childhood, Mahaprabhu would give all of his devotees specific services. Like he told Mukunda, I want you to work, make money, at the same time, preach, and have inner love, which he did. So Raghunandan was ordered by him, by Mahaprabhu, to take care of the deities, to do deity worship. So from his early childhood, he would feed the family deity, whose name is Gopinath. He would feed him ladus. Mukunda lived in the village of Srikhanda, where his household deity was Gopinath. One day he had to go somewhere, so he asked Raghunanda to do the service. He said, in this house we worship Krishna, so I want you to be sure to give him something to eat. And then he left. And then Raghunanda did as his father said, and he made the offering to the deities. But he was just a child, so he didn't know any mantras. So he said, eat, eat. But Krishna is controlled by love, so he did as the child told him. Well, first he didn't. But then when he saw that Raghunandan believed that he's a person, the Supreme Person, and said, if you don't eat, my father's going to be angry at me, so please eat. He ate everything off the plate. Because why? Because Krishna is controlled by what? Love. So he did as the child told him and ate everything on the plate, without leaving even a grain of rice. When Mukunda returned, he asked the boy to bring him the prasad from the offering. So the child said, Father, Krishna ate everything, so there's nothing left. Then Mukunda was so astonished that he asked him to make another offering. And this time, after he left the house, he secretly returned and hid behind the curtain. So Raghunandan joyfully placed a ladu in Krishna's hand and said in a commanding voice, eat, eat. So when Krishna had eaten half the ladu, Raghunandan saw Mukunda in the doorway. Mukunda saw that Krishna did not take another bite. He saw him eat, but then he saw that he didn't eat more as soon as the boy saw him. So the half-eaten laddu remained in his hand. This caused Mukunda to be filled with love. He embraced his child, and as tears of joy rained from his eyes, rained, that's a lot of tears, he spoke to him in a broken voice. To this day, fortunate people come to Sri Khanda to see the half-eaten laddu. I don't know how they could see the half-eaten laddu. It's probably a replica. Raghunandan is not different from Cupid himself. So we know that Cupid was trying to seduce Lord Shiva, thanks. And so Lord Shiva became angry. See, that wasn't the top thing you could do. The bottom thing you could do is get seduced and fall down. And the top thing is to just be in equilibrium. And the middle thing you could do is get angry at Cupid, but don't get lusty. So that's what he did. He got angry, and because he's Lord Shiva, the destroyer, he looked at him with his angry eyes and burnt the Cupid to ashes. So that Cupid is an expansion of course, Krishna is the original Cupid, but then his son is an expansion of Cupid, Pradyumna. So it's a long story. So to this day, fortunate people come to Sri Khanda to see the half-eaten laddu. Raghunandan is non-different from Cupid, says Uddhava Das. Uddhava Das wrote a song about this pastime. So what happened was Krishna had a son when he was married to Rukmini, and the son's name is Pradyumna. So Cupid came back as Pradyumna. Of course, it's all eternal, but it's just a pastime to say that because of this, that happened, and so on. So there was a demon named Sambara, and he heard in an aerial voice once that Krishna's son was going to kill him. So he found Pradyumna in the maternity ward, and he threw him in the ocean. But whoever Krishna wants to save, no one can kill. And Rake Krishna Mare Ke, Mare Krishna Rake Ke. And whoever Krishna wants to save, no one can kill. So that's what Maharaj Ambarish was thinking. When the fire demon was shot at him, he was just absorbed in Krishna's pastimes. He didn't think anything. Anyway, so he was in the ocean and he was swallowed by a fish. And this fish was caught by a fisherman's servant of Sambara and then brought to his kitchen to eat. So when they cut open the fish, they found Pradyumna and the baby. And the lady maid, her name was Maya, and she was actually the wife of Cupid before Cupid was burned. And so she took care of the baby, but then she started having amorous, then he grew up really, really quickly, and she started having amorous desires, and she realized that he was her husband, because she was a chaste wife. And so he asked her, before you saw me as your son, and now what's happening? So she explained the whole thing. And then Pradyumna knew that he had to kill Sambara, which he did. Anyway, so that's Raghunandan. So then Pradyumna came back, and Rukmini was so happy to get her son. Okay, so then that was one miracle event of the deity eating. Who else saw that? Anybody know? Starts with an M. It's not Markandeya Rishi. Saw Krishna eating. I'll give you a hint. It's in relation to the Anakut festival. Yes, Madhavendra, you're correct. Yeah, because the Brahmin, he arranged for a big Anakut festival because it was, after all, the deity was Govardhan. And so the whole village brought boga, and then they did an arti ceremony to offer the boga. And he alone saw Krishna eating it, and then the plate was empty, and then it returned. Why? Because when it returned, it was now mixed with the nectar from Krishna's mouth. So you can too. All right, so then the next section is other miraculous events. Tirth, are you tired? Huh? Huh? A little bit. You want to stand? Or you want to go take rest? Sometimes Gurudev jokes and he says, I'll give you a pillow. Narhari Sarg, plus, you're just running around the planet for so many weeks. It's natural that you're tired. Narhari Sarkar Thakur gave mead, I don't know what mead, huh? Honey wine to Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu from the pond right next to their home. This pond became known as Madhu Puskarini. Madhu again means honey. The legend is told that a kadamba tree that grew next to the pond always had 2 flowers blooming regardless of the season as a result of Raghunandan's miraculous powers. Another one was that one day Abhiram Thakur came to Sri Khanda and paid his obeisances to Raghunandan. Then he embraced him, Abhiram Thakur. Abhiram Thakur is Lord Vishnu and his Krishna pastimes. Breathes in and out universes. Then he embraced him and melted with feelings of prema. Raghunandan started to dance and sing kirtan, and while doing so, one of his ankle bells slipped from his foot and went flying off. It landed 4 miles away, imagine, near Krishnadasa's house, his disciple. Later, in order to commemorate that event, an artificial pond was excavated in that village and given the name Nupur Kund. Nupur means ankle bell, and Kund means pond. So we did Gopinath eating the laddu and the whole meal, and then what was the other one? Madhukund. What happened there? Huh? Oh, what was the one? Oh yeah, the 2 flowers blooming on this tree in every season. It's because of him. And then the third one is Nupur Kund. When he was embraced, he started singing and dancing, and his ankle bell flew how far? 4 miles. It's a lot. Mahaprabhu, the father of Sankirtan, gave his adopted son, Raghunandan Thakur, the authority to offer the garland on the day before the Sankirtan Yajna, Adivas, and to make the final offering at the Yajna's end, because he knew that Krishna would eat it. Once, we always, whenever we went to see Srila Bharati Maharaj, the devotees would give him bhoga or prasadam, and then he would distribute it to the devotees in the room. And he said, if you make an offering to Krishna, but you don't know if Krishna took it, depending on the consciousness, but if it's coming to you from the pure devotee's hand, whether bhoga was presented to the pure devotee's hand or prasadam, you know that Krishna ate it. That's pretty amazing about the pure devotee, who's nothing but a manifestation of Krishna. So Raghunandan Thakur accompanied the Bengali devotees to Puri every year on Chaturmasya. Then they would stay with Mahaprabhu for 4 months. He would dance with his uncle Narahari. Narahari what? Sakura Thakur, yes. At the Rathayatra festival, in the group formed by the residents of Srikant. So all around the cart, there were groups from different places. He was in that group, of course. And who led the Bengali devotees to Puri every year? Yes, Shivananda Sain. He participated in the Kheturi festival organized by Narottam Das Thakur at Gadadhar Das's festival in Katwa, and at the commemorative festival for Narahari Sarak Thakur in Srikant. Some people said, anyone who is dear to Raghunandan will win Mahaprabhu's mercy for life after life. Others said, Raghunandan is so merciful that he gives life to the most humble and fallen, so we can do well to pray to him to help us. Some said, what humility! There is no place, no one who is his equal. And others said, he is as beautiful as Cupid himself. And that's from the Bhakti Ratnakara by Narahari Chakravarti. Srila Raghunandan Thakur has great affection for Srinivasacharya. Prior to his disappearance, he consoled Srinivas that despite the difficult times, he would be able to spread Vaishnavism in the future. A difficult time is coming in which people will succumb to various doubts. Narahari Prabhu wrote in his Sri Krishna Bhajanamrita, I don't know what does that have to do with. Okay, prior to Raghunandan's disappearance, he consoled Srinivas that despite difficult times, he would be able to spread Vaishnavism in the future. There are several difficult times. All their books were stolen, and before that, remember, all their books were stolen and by the king, and then he met the king, and king gave him back. Very miraculous how their pastimes worked. Another miserable things that happened was he had heard from his father all about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu since he was a child, since he was a baby. And now that he grew up, he wanted to go see him. And so he went to see him. And people were coming back from Puri very sad. What happened? Mahaprabhu just left, ready to kill himself. Pull out his hair, banged on his chest. Then he went to see Gadadhar Prabhu, and then he left. He was with him for a while, and then he went someplace else. When he came back, he left. So many of the associates left. Rupa Sanatan, he went to Mathura on the way to Vrindavan. They left. Finally, Mahaprabhu told Jiva Goswami to find him. See, all these are transcendental, much higher than our gross things, doubts and confusions, ignorances, envies, all those things that we're covered by. And so Mahaprabhu told Jiva Goswami, you'll find this boy in the Radha Damodar temple in the corner, sitting and weeping. And so he went there, he got him, brought him to Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Once he was about to jump in the fire when the next person left and the next person left. And then Mahaprabhu appeared to him and said, don't, everything's going to be fine. And so, so then Jiva presented him to Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who we read about a few days ago, and he got initiated by him. And then the books got stolen. So we think we have problems. Once, our Lord Chaitanya and his companion Nityananda Prabhu have ended their incarnation, the Vaishnavas in the age of Kali will become anxious with every passing day. Whether very advanced, somewhat advanced, or neophyte, their hearts will nearly be filled with doubt. But don't let this worry you. Lord Gauranga will accomplish many great works through you. I bless you that you remain long on this earth, and that you and your followers protect our Lord's religion. Those who are opposed to devotion to Krishna will become devotees by your influence. Who is blessing him like this? Huh? Is blessing Srinivasacharya. And so, of course, it happened. So, Raghunandan Thakur bequeathed the service of his Gaur Gopal deity to his son Kanai Thakur, and then left this world on the 4th day of the waxing moon, that's today. And then his son gave a feast in his honor. So Raghunandan slowly became hidden to mortal eyes while repeating the names. In other words, he left. While repeating the names of Krishna Chaitanya again and again. How glorious is that day of Shravan Sukla Chaturthi, as today. Will anyone not sing the glories of Raghunandan Thakur? Okay, so that was it. Raghunandan Thakur ki jai ho. We're so lucky we got to do that. And then we're also celebrating the disappearance of Bansi Das Babaji. Do you all know what he looks like? Do you? Do you, Tirtha? Yeah. Yeah. Jayasri, do you know what he looks like? Okay. So this is what he looks like with long hair and long everything. Can you see it in the... It's on? You want to show? So Bangsidas Babaji is more contemporary. Even Srila Prabhupada, Srila Puri Maharaj met him. Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. This article is based on other articles that previously appeared in the old Gaudiya magazine and various statements made by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and his disciples who knew him. He appeared in the village of Majidpur in Jamalpur district of Bangladesh. All these great souls appeared so close together. And this was before the partition of India and Pakistan. This city was in the district of Maiman Singh. According to Haridas, the father's name was Sanatan. Babaji Maharaj came to Navadvip from East Bengal. He was a Paramahamsa Vaishnav who acted in the manner of an avadut. Do you all know what an avadut is? They're beyond rules and regulations. Like they can even walk around naked. They can, Yeah, fast on normal days and take rains on Ekadasi. Like Nityananda Prabhu, who was Baladev, he was also called an avadut. Sometimes he would take off all of his clothes and just wear a turban. And dance and sit on the lap of Malini, the wife of Srivas Thakur, and drink her milk. So he's quite an avadut. So similarly Bangsidas, but he's more contemporary. The word avadut refers to one who has shaken free from the worldly feeling and obligations. He doesn't care for social conventions, particularly Varnashram Dharma. And he's quite eccentric in his behavior. He lived in Navadvip under a tree on the banks of the Ganges, because they don't feel material heat or cold or honor or dishonor, happiness, distress, tired, not tired. He demonstrated a very high standard of renunciation. Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was attracted to his Vaishnava behavior and his disregard of rules and regulations of society. Prabhupada paid his obeisances to Babaji Maharaj from a distance, but did not allow his disciples to associate with him. For though he was a Paramahamsa, an ordinary beginner in devotional practice would likely misunderstand his indifference to rules and regulations and end up committing offenses to his lotus feet. The primary purpose of rules and regulations is to bring pleasure to Radha and Krishna. A practitioner who has not yet overcome his mundane conditioning may very well judge an advanced Vaishnava according to rules and regulations. If he measures a perfected soul, like who else did this happen to? I'll give you a hint. It's in relation to Gadadhar Pandit, Pundarik Vijayanidhi. He, in Krishna Lila, he's the father of Radharani, but he was hiding his glory by acting like a very, very fancy prince with, what is that thing they smoke? A hookah, and looking in the mirror, and having all opulent bed. But then as soon as, what happened? As soon as Mukunda sang a verse about Krishna showing mercy to Putana, he immediately went wild and 10 men couldn't hold him down. It is said that Babaji Maharaj had 2 cloth bags. He kept his Nitai Gaur deities in one, Radha Govinda in the other. He would regularly worship them, taking them out of the bags and serving them mentally with mantras, not externally. Then, when he finished, he would place them back in their bags, walking along. On occasion, he would leave them outside so that other people would look at them and get benefit. Once in a while, he would offer tobacco to Radha and Govinda with a hookah, but not to Gaur Nitai. The people would be bringing offerings of rice, fruits, vegetables, flour, bananas, but he would ignore them. When he noticed an accumulation of such offerings, he would mentally offer them to his deities and then distribute the remnants to whoever happened to be present. Who can understand such enigmatic behavior? He was tall enough to be able to pick fruits for his puja from the high branches of the tree without making use of ladders or other paraphernalia. I'm going to ask you all to repeat this after, so it's a test coming. On one occasion, he fell from the tree, and from that time on, he took on the guise of a lame person. He only wore a kopin, that is a strip of cloth covering his private parts, and left his hair and beard uncut and unkempt. So, he fell from the tree, but he didn't have to be a lame person, but he felt like. So then he went to Braj. He didn't stay exclusively in Navadvip, but traveled to many places and also performed his spiritual practices. He embodied the verse, Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitamati. That means he was absorbed in thinking of Krishna and his pastimes and his relationship with Krishna. With Bhav. Everyone reminded him of Krishna Lila. Everything. Whatever he looked at reminded him of Krishna Lila. Like when Gurudev was in Badger, he said, this mountain here reminds me of Govardhan. This peacock reminds me of Vrindavan. This stream reminds me of Jamuna. But especially there was one peepal tree, like we have just outside, or butt tree. Whenever he saw a peepal tree, he would sit under it, taking it to be the Bangsi butt, under which Krishna played his flute to attract the gopis. And actually, it was under the peepal tree that Radharani was left by Krishna and weeping that Krishna left me, and then the gopis found her. That all took place under the peepal tree, as well as Gopal Bhatta Goswami would sit under it and chant and meditate on the Lord's pastimes. And the peepal tree is one of Krishna's vibhutis, means his opulences. He says in the Gita, of trees I am the peepal. Once he had stationed himself there, it would be difficult for him to get him to move. He left for Koladweep, present-day Navadvip, and headed for Vrindavan. Sometimes he walked, sometimes he traveled by ox cart, sometimes by train. He first went to Katwa, where he stayed for 2 days under a butt tree near the train station. Then he took the train to where he stayed for 1 day under a butt tree near the station for 4 days by the Ganges. Then he traveled on to Gaya, where he remained on the banks of the Falgu River for 3 days. He also stayed on a boat in the Ganges near Daswamedha Gata, which is where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Rupa Goswami on the nectar ocean of bhakti for 10 days. In Benares for 3 days. Spent another 3 days in Ayodhya by the Sarayu, I guess that's a river, including 3 hours under a battery at the Triveni confluence of Prayag for 10 days. Anyway, it goes on with how many days he spent everywhere. Everywhere he went, he remained absorbed in chanting the holy names and meditating on Krishna's form and pastimes. After 3 months, he returned to Navadvip Dham in the month of Jest. Those who traveled with him recounted that when wandering through Braj, he would sometimes sing songs about Krishna's Leela, sometimes glorify Navadvip, sometimes laugh madly, sometimes he would babble incoherently, and oftentimes he would remain completely silent. When visiting a temple, I lost it. He would often be seen muttering confidentially to the deities, disclosing some personal sentiment to them. All in all, his companions were charmed by his devotional absorption. Now we're coming to the end. In the old Gaudiya Weekly magazine, further accounts of his travels were given. It is stated that between 1943 and 1947, he traveled to Ambika Kalna, Kharagpur, Baleshwar, so many cities and names. Then again he visited Gaya, Kashi, and names other. After traveling to all these places, some devotees from his birthplace invited him to come for a visit. He acquiesced their enthusiasm, but found little pleasure in going. He said it was a place the Pandavas had neglected. Then Srila Bhakti Ballabh Maharaj's guru, that's Bhakti Dwight Madhav Goswami Maharaj, told his disciples a story about a personal encounter he had with Bangsidas Babaji. On one occasion, Babaji Maharaj was traveling and passed through Maidnapur when Gurudev, that is Srila Madhav Maharaj, when Gurudev received the news that he was coming with a group of devotees by ox cart, he immediately sent a disciple to invite him to visit the mat. Babaji Maharaj promised the disciple that he would come, and so Gurudev started to make preparations to receive the party. However, after the midday offering and arti, no one from his party showed up. So Gurudev waited for some time and finally took a number of his disciples and went looking for him. When Bhangsi Das had entered the city with his party, he had seen a peepal tree and had taken it to be Bhangsi Bhat. So he had camped there and made arrangements for making an offering to his deities and feeding his party there. When he saw Gurudev, he remembered his affection for Prabhupada and offered him some sweet rice prasad, which Gurudev accepted respectfully. I often heard Gurudev say how delicious the sweet rice tasted that day. So I think we'll end here. Huh?
There are some nice things that he says in the next section from Srila Bhaktivinoda Puri Goswami Maharaj.
Yeah, I was going to end before that. But it's another one whole page. Should we do it? It is getting kind of late. A call. Oh yeah, I have an email. Right. We'll read a few more minutes. His Holiness Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj's reminiscences. His Shiksha Guru, my Shiksha Guru, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, was also told us a few anecdotes. Once a pile of fruit intended for the service of the deities had accumulated at Babaji Maharaj's cottage by the Ganges, and Baba would not let anyone lay a finger on it. One day, however, a cow managed to enter the cottage and ate all the fruit. Though they tried, no one was able to drive the cow away. Meanwhile, Babaji Maharaj watched and laughed, clapping his hands. Out of curiosity, I asked him why he was laughing, and he said, "Last night, a thief stole all the deities' pots and pans, dishes, utensils. Now a cow has come and eaten all the fruit." So Baba is beside himself with joy and is laughing and saying, "One thief gives and another thief takes away." So who's the thief that gives? Very good. Did you know that in advance?
No, last time I couldn't get this at all, but just when you said it, I was like, oh, Krishna gave him all this stuff.
Right.
And the cows and
Krishna took it away. He saw Krishna behind everything. Tumi sarve swari swara. Babaji Maharaj never allowed anyone to touch his feet, except once, on the day after Mahaprabhu's birth. Babaji Maharaj was so ecstatic that he forgot his rule and became as generous as a desire tree. So I was fortunate enough to get the dust of his feet on that day. He enjoyed hearing devotional songs. One day he heard someone singing Bhaktivinoda Thakur's couplet, Tyaji Asayana Suk Vichucha Palank. Tirtha, you know that song? When will I become a Brijbasi? Give up my soft bed. Yeah, maybe you can sing that tomorrow. Okay, get good rest today. When will I give up the pleasure of sleeping on a comfortable bed and instead roll in the dust of Vrindavan? Babaji Maharaj said, "You are only singing a song. It only bursts open for those who have burst open." In other words, we only sing the songs of the Bhajans, but we feel no emotions. When the dust of the holy place covers our bodies, we only think of brushing it off. We have no real idea of its value. Radha's and Krishna's feet were on that dust, and their pastimes were in that dust. So if you touch the dust, you're touching the pastimes. But most people don't have any idea. Another day, someone started singing one of these newfangled, invented mantras that contradicts Siddhanta and divine sentiments. And Babaji Maharaj said, that name is not allowed here. Then another time, one gentleman often came to visit him and kept asking him for his mercy. One day, Babaji finally became impatient. He took off his kopin. This happened with Gorkashore Das Babaji too. He took off his kopin and handed it to the gentleman and said, all right, you want mercy? Here. So the man became scared and ran away. We have heard that all perfections come from the grace of the Vaishnavas, but we do not have the necessary sincerity to really take their blessings. And we ask them for their mercy when we don't really mean it. Actually, Gurudev said once that, we sing the same songs to Radharani that Raghunath Das Goswami sang. Like, if you don't give me your mercy, your merciful glance, I will die at once. So then Radharani's hearing this and thinking, is he serious or is he just saying it? So should I give my mercy or not?
A little bit of ignorance, but why was giving his kopins mercy to the person?
Means to here, take the renounced order of life. Come and live with me and don't go home. But really the guy wanted mercy to enjoy. We had an elder brother named Gokul Das. His original home was not far from Babaji Maharaj's. Gokul went frequently to see him, and when they got together, they would joyfully converse about Krishna in they had this different Indian dialect, so they would talk about that. So he knew where people were at and what to do with them. Babaji Maharaj was normally occupied with his devotional activities. He minded his own business and spoke little. He would talk to his deities, sometimes laughing, when will we be able to do that? Sometimes crying, desperately. But he didn't speak much to others. Many people would come to see him, and often they would ask him questions, but mostly he remained silent. And if he took any notice, he would usually answer indirectly. He didn't give spiritual instruction. He would rarely cite scripture, but always spoke from his personal realization. In 2 or 3 short phrases, he would often be able to make some deep impression on the listener. Once he had a regular visitor who kept asking him, how can I attain God? He just remained silent, giving no answer. One day, he suddenly looked at the visitor and asked him, what do you want? The fellow replied, I want to find God. Babaji Maharaj said, well, cry. Those who visited him occasionally reported the short answers that he gave to their questions. Cry. Baba, what should we do? Answer, worship Nitai and you will get Gora. Your unhappiness will go away and, not the Baba said, what should we do? The guy said, Baba, what should we do? And Baba said, worship Nitai and then you'll get Gaur. Your unhappiness will go away, and you will feel real joy. Question: how can we become free from the demands of the senses? They will all flee at the sound of Govinda's name, just as a deer flees at the sound of a lion's roar. Baba, is there no happiness in this world then? Answer: there's no joy unless you worship Gaurnitai. Nothing can bring us happiness. It's all miserable. Unless you worship Gaurnitai, which is the eternal world, this world of yours is an illusion. Happiness in this world is like the laughing or crying of a dreaming baby. You know how they do that? You know, it's all meaningless. How can we tell? That's a good one to think about when our minds go to enjoyment. How can we tell if we've received the blessings of Krishna or the Vaishnavas? You will ruin everything for those who aspire to attain you. He's reciting a song. To some he gives money, while he makes others penniless. There is no pardon for offenses to the Vaishnava's feet. How can you stop it if it comes? Who else will deliver you? If I try to explain, who will understand me? I haven't got the slightest bit of attachment to the Vaishnavas. This is a song. Jai kare tumara as, tare karo sarvanas. How can I get Krishna's mercy? You will get his mercy by crying. Who really cries? If you shed tears of love, you will get his mercy. So we can lament through the songs and on our own that we want that. I recite Hari's names, but I act otherwise, so the tears of love do not well up in my eyes. There's so much power in these songs. Question: how can we be happy? In renunciation or in enjoyment? Answer: there are saintly persons on the Sarayu River who chant the names of Ram. They are happy. They know no distress. Those who stay with King Duryodhana know no joy. Those who were with Yudhisthira are happy. Happiness and distress, enjoyment and renunciation are twins. Some people enjoy and some renounce, but it's all the crying of the dreaming baby. Have you ever been to Mayapur? Answer: yes, some call it Mayapur, some call it Navadvip. There are buildings all over the Mayapur temple site, and the deity is worshipped under the neem tree. I once went to Mayapur with a torn wrapper and a water pot. Sachinandan Gaurhari came and took my water pot. I sat down and waited, and a few minutes later, he came and gave it back. Then I came back here. I don't get that one. Does anybody? What?
It's just speculation.
Well, it shows that he's associating with Mahaprabhu. He was just wearing a torn wrapper and a water pot. But he was on another level. But I'm going to ask you now for points. Somebody give a point that was in his glory. Okay, ready? Go.
He was actually quite tall, and when he was picking fruits one time and he fell down off the tree, he pretended to be lame after that and then
Anybody else? He didn't accept? Rare occasion. Mahaprabhu's birthday. What else?
Seeing Krishna behind everything.
And what gives you that information?
Like the example of he had some kitchen utensils to offer Krishna.
Oh, right.
But then he also had the fruits.
Krishna's the giver and the taker. What else?
He was highly revered by Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but he would take obeisances from afar, and he wouldn't allow his general disciples to associate with him because he was an avadut, and since he was beyond rules and regulations of society, a newer devotee might confuse his behavior and make it unhappy.
Good. Anything else?
He had 2 bags.
Had 2 bags. Gornitai and Radha Krishna bags. And what do you do?
He would sometimes leave them in the street and have people who would walk by.
He would let people have their darshan by keeping them outside. And he would worship them, one and then another, have them in front of him, but the paraphernalia was mental. And
Give Radha and Krishna hookah, but not Gornitai.
yeah. Radha and Krishna, he would offer a hookah, but he wouldn't do that for Gornitai. Huh? Yeah, people would leave offerings, and then when they collected enough, he offered them and distributed them. And
I don't know if it was in this article, but one thing I was told last year that he does with the bag is one time he was seen chastising his deities very severely because another time thieves came and stole his pots, and he chastised his Gornitai deity saying, "Oh, how can I make offerings now? You had the thieves go and you brought them back here and you had them take the pots," and then he put them in the bag and he put them in the river, and he was like holding them in the river like under the water for some time, yelling at his deities.
so he was so intimate that he could chastise his deities.
Something so far beyond anything that would make sense in any of us.
What else did he do in front of his deities?
He would talk to his deities,
Talk, laugh, cry.
and he would also talk to the deities in the temples that he would visit. He would go and he would be seen
Murmuring to the deities. Anything else? Huh? Yeah, that's not here, but he sometimes left fish bones. That's I think that's in Gurudev's Navadvip Dham Parikrama, so that people would stay away, materialistic people, not bother him, thinking that he ate fish. Traveled a lot, a few days here, a few days there, always under a peepal tree or by the banks of the river. Ambika Kalna and everywhere.
He was invited by Madhavi Goswami Maharaj to the temple and accepted his invitation. And then, upon entering into the village where the temple was, I think it was Mednipur, and he saw a peepal tree and he thought, "Oh, this is Vamsi Bhat," so he just stayed there.
And then what happened there?
And then they went looking for him, and then they found him, and he was blissfully serving sweet rice prasad that he had somehow was arranged for him to make an offer there, and then he offered some to Bhakti Madhav Goswami Maharaj, and he took respectfully and said that it was so sweet.
It was the best sweet rice he ever had. What about Srila Puri Maharaj's? Oh yeah, that was the one where Krishna is behind everything. He's the thief that gave the pots and stole the pots and gave the boga and stole the boga. Huh? Take my cope and take my mercy.
Also, anything in relation.
Louder?
Anything in relation to a pure devotee is sentimental. It's like they use something also.
What's the example?
touch it, because it's coping, you know.
Oh, his kopin.
Yeah, Haridas asked,
Eh,
oh, why, like,
If they touched his kopin, they would benefit or worship it even. And he answered questions by quoting songs to tell people how to think.
You could always give very short answers that would be very
Short answers. Cry. He was always silent with others, but not with the deities. And he would always be hearing devotional kirtans, like a Bhakti Vinod and all these Jai Kare Tomara Ash.
and I had something in relation, I was hearing recently from my Guru that the Lord incarnates in 3 ways in this yuga: Nam, Vigraha, and Swarup. So we obviously know Nam, but Vigraha is called Mona Avatar, which means silent avatar. He just accepts our mood, you know, if there's enough salt or not enough salt, okay, he accepts, otherwise. Only in Prema Dosha does the deity talk to the devotee. And actually, he's also said that the reason why Krishna came as Vigraha in this age is because the people don't have faith in serving the Vaishnavas.
Mm. And then how does that fit with Bangsidas Babaji?
Most people, they have faith. They don't have faith. They say that they want to have faith or they ask, but when actually
Oh, yeah.
given like the opportunity,
Right.
they'll pray, "Oh, please give me your mercy." Then we have the example of the man who gave the kopins, but then said they don't understand what the value of the dust is. They don't know what they're singing. They're just singing words.
So then when we do bhajans, we want to pray to the author and the person who's being sung to, that let my heart be one with this kirtan, rather than space out, think of other things, or think hopelessly, but pray. Okay. Srila Raghunandan Thakur ki jai. Srila Bangsi Das Babaji Maharaja ki jai. Gaura Premanandi. Hare Hare Rama. Nitai Gaura Haribo. Haribo. Bo Gaura Haribo.